اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد معدن الجود والكرم وآله وبارك وسلم وصل عليه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with numerous gifts, many gifts, and amongst those gifts are our sense organs, our eyes, ears, our ability to touch, feel and smell. These are the great five senses through which we have a link with the outside world. They provide us stimulus, they provide us information, they are our means of being in touch and being connected with the outside world. And how we use these great gifts and faculties really makes us who we are, determines our skills and abilities really. Effectively, all our life is about making sure that we use these instruments that God has given us, these faculties that God has blessed us with, properly. We use them in the way that they should be used so that we can derive the best from Allah's creation and we can benefit from what is around us, really. These are great tools that we have. And that is why Allah says, well, إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Allah says, these gifts and these tools that I have blessed you with, your eyes and your ears and your heart and mind, you will be questioned about them. You will be asked, what did you do? How did you use these wonderful gifts that we have given you, these tools, these instruments? How did you use them? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whilst talking about fasting, he said that Allah does not need you to stay hungry and thirsty and to spend time in night vigil, insomnia and hunger and thirst. That isn't what He wants. He doesn't want you to be in that trouble and take all that trouble for the sake of it. That isn't it. He says this is to make you better. And He says, as-siyamu junnah. Fasting is a shield. Hatta lam yakhribha. Until it is torn. It is a shield. And as you know, in the olden days, soldiers used to use these shields to protect them from the arrows and the lances and the spears of their enemies. Of course, nowadays we have all kinds of shields. On your computer you have firewalls. These are shields which shield you and protect you from spams or from viruses or whatever that could spoil your computer, really. And we also put shields around us. In fact, human brain is so powerful that it often puts shields when it sees danger. Particularly people who've been, say, traumatized, begin to have these special kinds of shields, their brain puts up in order to get rid of the trauma so that it doesn't keep on flashing back to them and disturbing them. The mind is so powerful in creating these shields. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this great shield. Fasting, a shield, the Prophet says, until it is broken. An inquisitive soul amongst the Sahaba asked, Ya Rasulullah, how is it torn? He says, when you lie, when you backbite, when you are dishonest, the fast is destroyed. The fast is broken. You know, just like if you were to drink water or have a piece of bread, that will break your fast. Similarly, he says, if you were to lie, if you were to be dishonest and deceitful, then your fast is broken. Of course, the fuqaha don't say that, you know, when you lie, your fast is broken, literally. Okay, the fuqaha don't accept it in that sense. But the people of heart certainly, and the scholars of profound knowledge and understanding, really say, well, that is a broken fast. Okay, it might look joint and wholesome, but really it is a broken fast, really. And this tells us something about what fasting is all about, really. It is all about controlling. It is all about self-disciplining, really. It is about us being masters of our destiny, master of what we do. I'd like you to, inshallah, we've got new copies of our book, Psalm Fasting in the month of Ramadan, the expression of divine love through self-discipline. You can have 3 copies of this from our side. And, my khutbahs tending to become more like classroom lectures, which I'm proud of. I think it's important that, the khutbah is used as a means of teaching. And you come here to learn. You are students, and I become your teacher. And these are my khutbah notes, and they are there. And I do really urge everybody. It's only about 40 odd pages. You could read it in one sitting of about 35 minutes easily. But do please read this particular section on fasting as a means of moral development. What I've just told you is that fasting is about controlling ourselves. So it's not just about the eating and the drinking, which is a very simple. Okay, that Imam al-Azhari says that is the fast of the lowest. That is the fast of the very common. Okay, the fast of the special is where they take in the moral considerations, where they begin to regard this as a means of their development, where they begin to now look after their thoughts, look after what they speak, because they know they have to do وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Always say good things to people. If you want to say something to somebody, even if it's a criticism, how should you do it? I need to learn this. You will work close to me, will know how poor I am at that. And that is that you say something positive first. You say something which is uplifting, and then you point out the shortcoming, the mistake, in a good way. What we say is good. What we see should also be that which is beautiful, that which is good, that which will bring us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that our sense of seeing really becomes a means of our development. The Quran actually uses this. The Quran is always making us think, and it's always saying, have you seen what happened in the past? Bringing to us historical facts. Through history we can learn. And then it says, for example, إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَالِقُ الْحَبِّ وَالنَّوَاتِ يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي ذلكم الله فأنى تؤفكون. Allah is the one who breaks the date stone and out of which comes the palm tree. Allah is the one who opens up the seed, the mustard seed, and the plant grows from it. Inna Allah khaliqul habbi wan nawa. He is the one who brings out the chicken, who brings out the chick from the egg. He is the one who brings the dead from the life. That is Allah. That is Allah. That is Allah. As the Quran says, there, that is Allah, the one who is doing these things right in front of you. What does it say to us? Open your eyes and see and look around you. فَأَنَّا تُؤْفَكُونَ. ajib, you know, with this surprise. God is here, right in front of you, in front of your eyes. Yet, you can't see Him. What are you wondering? Brothers, you know, the Quran wants us to be people who are observant. And what is a scientist? What is a scientist? The definition of a scientist is one who makes observations. The one who sees things very carefully, minutely, scrutinizes them, uses his microscope, uses his electron microscope, he uses all the means, he uses the X-rays, he uses all kinds of fantastic machinery in order to view and see things around him. And what happens? He does see some wonderful things. So brothers, these are gifts of Allah, our eyes, to see with. And when we use them properly, when we have that mastery to see and use them properly, we will become stronger, we will become more thoughtful and more advanced people. And so here, you know, we see that the Prophet ﷺ, by telling us what breaks the fast and how we have to, that fast isn't just the zahir, it's also about the batin. And I hope this tells us something else about the nature of Islamic worship. Islamic worship isn't just mere rituals, you know, outward performance, mechanical performance of doing takbir, folding your hands, bowing and prostrating.